Yeah, it's Dave O'Neill here on the debrief. It's been a while, but here I am. It's Mid-Comedy Festival, and I'm picking up Lawrence Mooney from the Athenaeum, where he's doing a seasoned, let's say it's a sellout season, I don't know, and taking him to the Grandview Hotel, the Moon Man. Always good to see him. Always a good laugh. One of the kings of comedy. Good stuff. All right, we'll see if he's not too pissed. No, he won't be. He's just done a show. Of course he won't be. Oh, there's the coppers. Let's hope they're not coming for Moon Man. All right. You're listening to Debrief. Mooney will be here. How are you?
What do you got, bro?
I'm recording something.
What are you recording?
Oh, a podcast. I do a podcast.
Oh, all right. See you, mate.
Ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga, ooh, chugga-lugga. Going for a drive, do a little gig, then drive back with the chat. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief. It's called the debrief.
We're here. Lawrence Mooney's got in the car. How are you, Lawrence?
Very well, Dave. I've just come off stage at the Athenaeum in Collins Street, and there's a bit of a slow grind up the hill on the way to the Grandview. Great night tonight, actually.
It's a beautiful
Of
night,
the-
actually.
Of the 4 Wednesdays I've done, that was the best.
Wednesdays are hard. My Wednesday was
Wednesday,
hard
why is
tonight.
Wednesday so hard? What is wrong with people?
What is wrong with you?
They still aren't gearing up for the weekend. On Thursday night, they can smell it. Friday night's always the best. Saturday night, they're too pissed. And then Sunday night, they're pretty quiet, but they're focused.
Yeah.
Then Tight Ass Tuesday is great because
Yeah.
everyone's excited it's the weekend. By Wednesday, people are kind of a bit flat.
It's weird, isn't it? I found that too.
Bit of the hump day bullshit going on.
Just before you got in the car, I was talking to the mic doing an intro, and this young piss bloke opened the door and goes, What are you doing, mate? I said, I'm doing a podcast. The look on his face was like I'd just taken a crap on his front lawn. He went, and couldn't shut the door quick enough.
And did he recognise you, or were you just?
I don't know. I don't think so. He was really excited, but when I said the word...
Did you put an Uber accent?
Yeah.
No accent.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. I think he knew I wasn't an Uber. He saw the microphone and got really excited. But when I said the word podcast, it's like terrible.
Yeah, I reckon that the word podcast is terrible
Well,
because there's so many of them.
Oh, it's like a blog now. When people used to do blogs.
Vlogs.
And remember vlogs.
Vlogs. And that's what podcasts have become now. They were blogs and now they're vlogs, which is like when you do a
You gotta film
podcast
it.
with me and everyone's filming it to get highlights to put on Insta or TikTok. He is homeless and going slowly. Don't run him over.
Bloke.
Because we are in a moving car.
We are. This is the trick. You've been on this before. I mean, I'm sure.
Was the last time we did it in my MG, or has there been one
No,
since
there's been
then?
one since. Yeah, someone talked to me the other day, said they loved the MG episode because I could hear your MG on Great Ocean Road. Going,
Yeah.
Have you still got that car?
I have got that car, affectionately known as Primrose, because the official colour from MG is Primrose Yellow. It is a standard colour, but not well known. When I say MG, I don't mean one of these new
No, it's an
electric
old one.
vehicles. It's a 1971 MG BGT, Dave.
So do you take that for drives around
Yes, around
Barrel?
where I live, like other old retirees. There's
You
a
and
lot of blokes with
Peter Garrett, you told me, lives up there.
Well, Peter Garrett and
Andrew Denton?
myself, Andrew Denton and Jennifer Byrne, Carl Barron.
Oh, yeah, Carl
Arne
Barron's.
Doe, Julia Zamiro,
Is Undo up there?
Barnsey. Run into
Jeez.
them all. It's like Stella Street. Barnsey's recently had open heart surgery,
Yeah.
and so he looks a little bit, ginger at the moment, but I'm sure he'll bounce back. But gone are the days of necking a bottle of vodka on stage.
Yeah, chisel.
And,
You'd be happy to know I had 5 guys down the front from Bayswater tonight. So, young guys. Basie.
the old stomping ground.
They went to Aquinas. Not
Right.
Whitefriars, Aquinas.
Aquinas, of course, was more of a kind of regional Catholic school.
Yes. They were
Whitefriars-
girls.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they had a
Aquinas girls?
ditch. They had separate campuses in the 70s and the 80s, I reckon.
But now it's co-ed.
Yeah, no, but they had a ditch down the middle that separated them. It's hilarious. Like,
A ditch.
had a ditch.
So it'd be like running across no man's land or the DMC, the demilitarized zone,
To get to see a girl.
and
on.
fathers and brothers with slug guns
Oh.
shooting at you.
This show, your show you're doing at the moment, so this is one you did in Perth?
Yeah, and it's called Pigeonhole, and it's about how I've pigeonholed myself as a bit of a loose unit, Dave, across the journey.
Yeah, people
In fact,
do
the last time,
say
I-
that about you.
yes, and with good, and I've nurtured that. I've exaggerated it. I've
Well, I've
served.
told you that I went and did a corporate gig, and that woman goes, well, we had a bit of a disaster. Well, not a disaster. The comic crossed the line last year, and I always think it's either Lawrence Mooney or Akmal. And you're in for a
briefing.
great gig. Yeah, briefing from the HR woman. You're like, oh.
Yep. So you speak to the
fuck.
CEO, and it's like, okay, hi, my name's Rebecca from HR.
Yeah.
We just want to say that this company does not tolerate racism, sexism, homophobia, ableism now, transphobia. And you say,
Yeah.
oh, well, there's me.
There's your act.
There goes me act. There goes me joke about the
Well,
one-legged transsexual.
Well, Peter Fox used to do that joke where he'd say, the management just told, he was a comedian from Sydney in the 90s. The management just told me there's no swearing, no racism, no sexism, no reference to drugs. Anyway, I'd like to finish up now. And that's a great intro.
The last time I came to do this gig, I was
Oh, were you doing the festival? You were too.
doing the festival. And
That
then
was
I
2
did about
years
half
ago.
an hour in front of the fireplace down here at the Grandview.
Ah, yeah.
In the back room, I was doing stuff about rub and tugs, and you were
Oh,
like,
it was
"Have you ever done that
hilarious.
before?" And I said, "No, I haven't." You said, "That's a bit. You got to do it that as a bit," and then that became a bit in
Yeah. last
my
year.
show, Embracing Your Limitation. Yeah, last year's show.
Yeah, that is a funny bit.
So it was 2 years ago that I did this.
Yeah. Yeah, you haven't been back to the Grandview for
But
a
I live a
while.
bit more temperate lifestyle now, Dave. You've never really been a pisshead, have you?
No, there's 4 boys in the family. Like, how many boys in your family? 3 or 4?
3.
Someone told me they went to a school and your brother was the headmaster.
Yeah.
They
So
said it was bizarre. It was just like, it looked exactly like you, but he was wearing a suit and
Yeah.
ordering kids around.
yeah, he was a teacher for 40 years and ended up being the principal of Point Cook Secondary College.
Someone said they went for some reason had to go there. Said it was just odd. It's
Yeah.
like when you see my brother looks like me. One of my brothers looks like me. Like,
Well, you've got a twin, haven't you?
yeah, but he doesn't look like me anymore. He's too skinny. But we used to look very similar. But my middle brother, Mark. So anyway, there were 4 boys, and how many boys in your family? 3, 4.
3. I'm the youngest of 3.
Yeah,
Not
so
me.
I'm the youngest. We're twins, but the 2 older ones indulged heavily in drugs and alcohol. And Mum would
right.
always say, I go into their room in the 80s, they all stank, but you 2, nothing. So me and Glenn were more milkshakes and...
Dave and Glenn.
Whereas Mark and Trevor, bongs, fucking everything.
But they're still
Everything.
both with us.
Yes. I know,
So
it's
they
a miracle.
survived.
Oh, they survived. They both losing their hair, though. Me and Glenn, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. So your brothers all pushed it, or...
Not really.
you're
My
the one.
middle brother has always pushed it, but mostly booze,
Yeah.
We never had a raging drug problem in the family. It's been, consistently, what's the euphemism for it? A casual drug user? Consistently
Oh,
casual.
yeah. Well, when we grew up in a very similar area. You went to Whitefriars, I went to Mitcham High. They're close to schools. I hung out with Whitefriars boys,
Yeah.
and we couldn't get drugs.
Yeah, it really wasn't a thing, was it?
It was really hard to get. We always talked about cocaine, but we could never get it.
Yeah.
So we
And
only
so
had marijuana and magic
yeah.
mushrooms is all we had.
Yeah, and occasionally someone would roll up with some hash.
Yeah, or acid. I remember
Yeah.
acid being a thing in the late 80s.
And acids.
Acid was, I only had it once. It was pretty full on.
Yeah, I've had it a few times and I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, you liked it? Oh, we decided to go 10-pin bowling. It's the fucking worst mistake.
And were you
ever.
tripping?
Yes.
And so what was happening inside the bowling alley?
Well, things were moving and stuff. And then we went to the lounge nightclub and I was seeing 2 of everyone.
Right.
And I just went, this is no good. And,
Oh, I'm having a hallucination. Was there rainbow and colours?
Yeah, it was pretty full on. But yeah, so we couldn't get drugs. My brother always says if we could have got drugs, we would have all been on them for sure. Like,
Yeah, because we were living a boring suburban lifestyle and there was 4 TV channels, no internet. You get on
and
the
hard
train.
to meet girls.
Yeah.
We can only meet girls from the same suburb, and you go to nightclubs and, you know.
Or you get on a train like you did and go to a music venue and watch bands.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time. And then we'd have to get the last train home. And then it was scary because we were slightly alternative, and then you'd get like Sharpies and skinheads getting on and
Getting off at Box Hill.
Box Hill, yeah, and wanting to bash you. I'm going to bash you. Yeah, it was scary. I remember sitting on the train with my brother. We're going to see a band. And he's just like, don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Anyway, good times.
Don't look at
But you're living a more sober life now.
Yeah, because this show's about me falling over and smashing my head open, Dave. I won't say I had a fall.
Like an old person.
No, it was a drunken misadventure. And I fell outside a restaurant in Barrel, and I had to be resuscitated.
Oh, fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
But like by an ambo or...?
No, by the owners of the restaurant. And then an ambulance turned up, and by that time I'd come back.
So resuscitated...
mouth-to-mouth CPR.
Whoa, so had you died or...?
Yeah, so I guess that's the problematic phrase. I guess if your vital signs stop, no breathing, no pulse, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
But then...
So that happened?
So that happened, yeah.
Jesus. Because, you know, CPR is... Because I did a first aid course at school many years ago, CPR doesn't work always. You know what I mean? It's not...
No, not everyone comes back.
Yeah, because defibs have got like a 90% hit rate, but CPR, because a lot of people don't know how to do it properly, the first aid guy said.
Yeah,
like, would you know how to do it? I wouldn't know. I'd try.
But... I would give it a red hot go, but yeah, I kind of do know how to do it. And if you are listening, it's 2 big breaths and 15 compressions. And that number of compressions changes all the time. The most important thing is, like, you've got to be straight armed and going so hard at the chest that the sternum often cracks.
Well, and they said, I know we did this on a podcast, but staying alive is a good rhythm to do it to. No, staying alive, that bang, bang. It's quite quick, isn't it?
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you also got to keep breathing yourself because it becomes exhausting.
Jesus. So who did it to you, like the chef or something, or the owner?
Yeah, the owner of the restaurant, him and his wife. Well, his wife used to be a theatre nurse, and she was the one doing it.
So you were drunk and fell over, hit your head?
Yeah, like David Hookes type style. I wasn't punched by anyone, but fell on the back of my head and smashed
the worst.
open. Wow. So a doctor friend of mine said there's a little switch at the top of your spinal cord, between your spinal cord and your brain stem. And this is, we're talking tiny fibre.
Yeah.
Your spinal cord's not that wide. And the little switch is called your medulla oblongata. And it's a big message centre. And so you hit it and it cuts out. In spy movies, you used to see people get karate chopped to the back of the head. Well, that's the medulla oblongata being shut down. And so it can start again on its own, or it may not. And so she said, you're very lucky.
So did you go to hospital after that?
Yeah, so I was put in an ambulance and still unconscious and taken to Liverpool Hospital. And the pivot of the story is that I wake up and leave the hospital. Like...
What, a day later? Or?
No, that night, because my wife's on holiday down the south coast and I don't want her to find out. So I'd leave the hospital with an open wound on the back of my head.
Fuck!
Pull the cannula out, the IV.
Oh, like in a movie.
Yeah, and...
Like you're on the run.
People are negotiating with me and I demand to leave. And I get home and I'm still bleeding, and luckily it didn't bleed out. And, of course, I've given my number, my next of kin, to the hospital, and so they call her and say, do you know where your husband is? She's like, no, I'm on holiday with my daughter and my best friend and her kids. And then she calls me 16 times and I don't answer, and she thinks I'm dead.
Oh.
So, yeah, pretty traumatic.
And what, did you go back to hospital or you just...
No, I went home.
Yeah, but...
And then eventually the next day I go to hospital.
Yeah, again, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
so
right.
Not the next day, the day after, so 30 hours later. And so then they have to kind of re-clean the wound and open it up again.
Oh, so when you went home the first time, did you just fall asleep?
Oh, yeah, I knew what I was doing. I put towels on the bed. Not my first rodeo, Dave.
Yeah.
Head injury.
Fuck. That's brutal.
Yeah, pretty brutal. So I'm taking it easy.
Because you went on that tour with Pang, Malloy, Sheargold. And
The comedians, and that got pretty loose.
Yeah, and as I said to Pang, it's not lock up your daughters, it's lock up your bottle shops. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because you all like a drink, those boys.
Yeah, tell you what.
There's not one teetotal amongst them. There's no Glenn Robbins or me that enjoy one beer and that's it, you know.
No, there's no Dave O'Neill or Glenn Robbins on that.
No, or Hughesy.
Or Ross Noble or
Yeah,
Hughesy.
yeah, no teetotalers.
And there's a lot in the comedy industry, which is a good thing, and I think the changing face of it, I think...
But there's a lot of big drinkers too. Quite a few
Still,
big
you reckon?
Oh, actually. Yeah,
I reckon now, because of, like, the careerist angle of
Oh,
it...
yeah, well, that's true. The young guys probably don't. They don't,
Yeah.
want, to, they don't want to stuff up.
Let's say they don't want to stuff up. They don't want to be seen on social media
Yeah, pissed.
shit-faced, and also they're really body conscious.
Yeah, that's true. It's like young tradies these days. They
Yeah,
always
yeah.
say that they're not having the dim sims and the big M. They're having salads and stuff, and, you know, apparently. Well, we're pulling up to Grandview. We'll have to reconvene after this. I'll give you a lift back to wherever you're going.
Really?
To your... Yeah, I
Oh,
don't
to
care.
Key West
What?
Apartments on South Bank.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, here we are. Look at this.
Look at
Loading
this
zone.
park.
Bang. Speak to you later.
Lawrence Mooney is with us.
Kitty write Fisk about her dad.
Yeah, mate. No, sorry. That's not her dad. Her dad was a writer.
No, but
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, there's
Anyway,
a bit-
we're here on the debrief.
so he we're here on the debrief. We've done the gig.
Now, where are we going?
So
South Bank? Gee, it's
let,
miserable.
let me tell your audience,
Look at this weather.
Dave, that I'm a Melbourne boy, born and bred out of the eastern suburbs, Bayswater,
Baysy.
and so 54 years in Melbourne, and then I got lured away
To Barrel.
to the big smoke. First of all, Sydney to
Yeah.
do Triple M radio,
Yeah.
and then that relationship ended abruptly
Yeah, I
after
think
3 years.
We talked about that on the last podcast.
And all I can say is I've signed a deed of release, and let me say this: Triple M is an esteemed broadcaster.
you can't talk about them, yeah.
And everyone that works there is incredibly talented and well balanced and good people.
well, yeah.
I can't disparage anyone on that station, but you know, I will one day write a fiction.
Yes. Well, like the bass player from Elvis Costello's band wrote this book, and he just called everyone the singer, the keyboardist. And we're like, we know who you're talking about, mate. It's like, everyone knows.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bruce Lerman.
But you do wonder, what, and also that producer from Channel 7 who
Well,
broke the golf
he's
clubs.
studying law, so
Oh, he's going to be a lawyer.
no, but that's done. You will never be admitted to the Supreme Court of New South Wales or Victoria when Justice
those-
Michael Lee has called you a rapist. That's that.
He was funny, Michael Lee.
So you can finish your LLB or your Juris Doctor, as they call it now, and you can even do your practicing certificate. And
You know, you would have been a good lawyer.
I am studying law.
Are you really?
Yeah,
No.
it's the truth.
You're studying law.
Yeah.
Part-time, obviously. You're not there at Melbourne Uni every
Well, when
day
you-
on the South Lawn talking to girls, that annoying mature age student.
Just smoking,
Girls.
you're just smoking a joint with a 23-year-old.
Well, you know who's
talking
going back
case
to
law.
uni? Frank Woodley. He's doing. He told me he's doing counselling. He's that mature age student.
Do you know,
good on him.
If Frank Woodley was my counsellor, you'd be looking down and those fingers are thrumming on his thighs and he's looking really like, ooh.
So how far
No,
are
he'd
you?
be a great counsellor.
He would be good. How far are you into your law degree?
1/8.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. You'll finish that.
Well, I'm reading with a barrister at the moment.
But why are you doing that?
So when this ends, Dave,
Yeah.
I march into a court and sue you.
So you're going to be a barrister, you reckon?
I'm going to take this Volvo right off your hands.
No.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mark Holden is a barrister.
Yeah, and there's a few others. There's some people from home and away and neighbours who have become barristers. And the barrister who I'm reading with, and when I say reading case law with, I've got a number of lawyer friends who's like, I will employ you tomorrow.
As a barrister,
No, as a lawyer
the lawyer.
to read, and because you know when you're reading through a case, you got to read someone and say, listen, this is what I think about it, and they say this is what I think about it, and then they brief the barrister and they go into the court.
Yeah, right.
So there's work there all the time, but a year's work as a lawyer is about 5 corporates for us.
Oh, really? Doesn't pay that well.
No, it doesn't. If you're a lawyer, yeah, it doesn't pay that well. First or second year. But I'm reading with a barrister who I went to school with, and he goes, there's no age limit on being a barrister.
I didn't know that. See, like a cop, we couldn't join the cops. We're too old.
No. But I get my law degree, I get my certificate of practice, then I do my bar exam, and I can be a barrister at 67, walk into a court, and be a barrister.
So this is your plan. You've thought about this.
Yeah, I've thought about it.
Wow. Yeah, because a guy said to me the other day, he's a hypnotist, and he said, I've seen you a few times. You'd be a great hypnotist, and you would double your gigs overnight if you could hypnotise people.
Was it Rowan Gazard?
No, it wasn't Amazing Gazard. But I thought, I entertained
No,
it for
hold
a
on,
minute.
excuse me. The bizarre
Gazard. Because, of course, he used to be a comic, and now he's a hypnotist.
He's a hypnotist, and he does business as a hypnotist, and the majority of his business is smoking and weight loss. And he said it's easy because the people have already made the decision.
Yeah.
By the time they come to a hypnotist, they want to give up smoking and they want to lose weight. And so but I went to him and he changed my life.
Really?
Yeah, I write about him in my book, Embracing Your Limitations, and
Yeah, I
I'm
read that
cynical about it. So I met him at Dave Grant's 50th.
Yeah, wow.
A year later, Dave Grant's dead from pancreatic cancer. Farley and a beautiful man died prematurely.
He was our generation, yeah.
He was our generation. He died at the age of 51.
He's a great comic.
In 2010.
51?
Yes.
I realised he was 51.
Yeah, he was 51.
And he died within a year. Pancreas cancer is one of the worst.
Pancreatic. But he chose not to have his cancer removed.
Yeah.
Or chemo. He went the naturopath way.
Yeah, right, okay.
And I've got to say,
I'm going to get it removed if I ever get pancreas cancer.
go with Western medicine.
Yeah,
Don't go with green shakes because Dave's dead.
Yeah.
And
I'm going pancreas.
I don't want to mock his choice, but it was the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Get your pancreas removed.
Get it removed. Because you don't need your pancreas. You don't actually need it, apparently.
Well, you do because it creates insulin.
Sorry.
So you become an automatic diabetic.
Oh, okay.
So you need to.
You're still alive.
You're still alive. But you become a diabetic straight away.
Right.
Because your pancreas is what creates insulin.
I thought you didn't need it, but obviously you do.
No, it metabolizes sugar.
You need it. Yeah.
Anyway, so Gazard said, "Come and get hypnotized," and I said, "I don't need to get hypnotized." He goes, "Everyone's got an issue that they need to get cured."
And what was your issue?
And so he goes, "What is your issue?" Interesting question, Dave. What is your issue? I want everyone right now to ask themselves,
Mine would be
what is your
addiction to
issue?
sugar and salt.
Right, okay.
My addiction. Because he
Right.
said to me, come and see me if you want to get off lollies and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So my issue,
Sex
chronic,
addict.
but sex addict fuels into my
Yep.
issue, and so does drug abuse and alcohol abuse. Procrastinator.
Oh, you're a procrastinator.
Yeah, so you will do anything to distract yourself from the thing you need to do. So he hypnotized me into getting into a space where I could do my task. What unfolded was the most successful period of my life.
Yeah, we wrote a book and you... Yeah,
No, before that, I did after he hypnotized me, most successful comedy festival show, most successful...
Are you down here somewhere?
Yeah, turn right here.
Oh, wow.
And then
Oh, no,
I ended up doing, got to do a Yui.
I do a U here like this.
Yeah. Dirty Laundry Live.
Yeah, of course.
Then Malcolm Turnbull. And the hypnotism, whether it's placebo or real, keep going a bit further
Are you
along.
here in this building here?
Yeah, they're the Key
You know,
West
the only
apartments.
person I've ever dropped off here,
Carl Barron.
Lavinia Nixon.
Oh, yeah. Well, Lavinia,
She owned something here, I think.
Lavinia and I live together
Right.
now.
Talk about the weather.
She just does the weather. And I
Great person.
am a cold front. Now keep going.
She was in there, that building. You stay here.
Yeah, because I demand when
Key
I'm
West.
just you can just
Oh, this is great.
when I'm in town for a month, I need a balcony and I need to be able to open a door. If you're in a hotel room,
You can't.
you lose your mind. Anyway, so hypnotism, I highly recommend it. If you want to see a hypnotist, a clinical hypnotist, to help you over your issue, first of all, name your issue and then go to Rowan Gazzard.
Gazzard.
He's in Skye, just outside Frankston. He's a great practitioner. I can't recommend him enough. Changed my life.
Wow.
Wow. See, I'm not just some kind of like shallow pool. There's always a discovery to be made, Dave.
Mate, this
You're a
podcast
beautiful
alone, we've learned a lot about you. We'll do the questions because you got to go.
This guy's running
What's
with a
going on?
lacrosse stick. Wow.
Has he
you
done
don't
some
often see
damage?
that.
What's he doing?
Oh,
Now he's
wow.
waving outside the garage door, like trying
Yeah.
to get it to open. Oh, it's
And
opening.
it is opening. God, it's a magic. Oh, no, it's an umbrella, not a
That's
lacrosse stick.
umbrella. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, he's getting
And
in.
he's under.
Could be a burglary. So what
be.
went well tonight, Lawrence, with the gig?
So one of the great things that happened was got up,
Oh, yeah.
asked if anyone from Bayswater's there,
Yes.
and a woman put her hand up.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, whereabouts in Bayswater did you live? And often people go, oh, I lived in actually Baronia or Croydon.
Yeah.
And then I always berate them.
Yeah, that's not
And go, don't
Bayswater.
tie your wagon to my star. Talking about fucking Bayswater. And this
Baysy.
woman goes, I lived in Mitre Crescent. Now, Mitre Crescent was off Scoresby Road,
Where you lived?
and we would walk down Mitre Crescent to school. And so I know every family in Mitre Crescent. I said, what's your name? And she said, my name's Kim Dealey. And I think that my brother had a thing for Kim, or they kissed or held hands or whatever
Yeah.
in primary school. And she's in his autograph book.
Oh.
Anyway, she was
wow.
such a beautiful looking girl,
Yeah.
without sounding like a massive pedo. But as kids, we were like, oh my God, Kim Dealey, Kim Dealey.
Yeah, there was always one.
And she was there, and she's still gorgeous. And so it actually stumped me for a bit. It's like, oh, Kim
Yeah.
Dealey, you're still mentioned.
Oh, you heard you say in the Mooney household.
Yeah. So we'll talk about Debbie Chandler and Kim Dealey and the McCormack girls and
Oh,
Tracy
yeah.
Spurrier and the really good-looking kids.
Yeah.
But we were also children.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's funny.
And so there's this romanticism to it. And then I thought, well, I've got to punch Kim Dealey too because I'm a comedian. So I said, so where do you live now, Kim? And she goes, Baxter, which is near Frankston, which is near where Rowan Gazzard lives in
Baxter.
Skye. And so I said, oh, well, you obviously love shit suburbs with the first two names BA because you moved from Bayswater to Baxter.
Basie. Oh,
But
that's good.
also there was the conflict, Dave, tonight of being very sexual, as a lot of my gear often is, or vulgar. And my eldest daughter, Lily, her friends Sophie and Georgia were there
Oh, were they there?
with their parents.
Oh, God.
But they're 24, so it's not young.
No,
so they
their parents would be our
they've
age.
their parents are our age. So their parents are probably more conservative and protective than they are
Yeah.
because they're in the absolute froth of youth and
Oh,
joy.
remember
They're
that.
24.
Yeah.
You know,
So what didn't go well?
nothing
well.
nothing didn't go well.
Any
Everything went well.
any logistical? I can't remember the question.
I mean,
Any
the
logistical-
lighting,
the lighting. Yeah, I
the
said I don't
lighting
like.
suspect. If Dave Grant was still alive
Yeah,
and
he'd
we
be
mentioned him, he'd
disgusting.
be get another light.
Well, we do have another light. It's just broken, actually. There's
Oh, well, get it
get
fixed.
two lights. You're right.
Because there's one light, and so you're playing towards one torch.
Yeah, it's true.
and when you look towards the audience, you
yeah,
can see a
there's
shadow.
shade. There's shade.
Yeah.
How can we do better next time? Then that's
Two lights.
two lights.
Two lights.
Well,
But you're always a very generous impresario because you know the biz. You pay well. You offer drinks. There's
Yeah.
always a great lineup. So afterwards, one of the great things was talking to Evan Hocking, Brad Oakes, a new
Nathan.
comic, Nathan,
Nathan
and
Chin.
yourself, and we're sitting around talking about gigs, and then Nathan lights up because we're hanging shit on a comedian he knows, and we've been at it for, I'm celebrating 30 years of stand-up this year.
33.
Yeah, so...
Oaksy be 35.
And do you know what, Dave?
Yeah.
If we started in let's say 1994 for me, and there was a comedian there who said, I've been doing it for 30 years, who'd been doing it from 1964.
Yeah.
Where we'd say, why don't you fuck off, Lenny Bruce?
Yeah. No, but people hang around now. That's the thing. The generation above us all left. But we all hang around now because you're making money. Why would you leave? And what else are you going to do?
Our audience is aging with us.
Yeah, it's true.
And they
love it.
They want to be independent. They don't want to go home. They want to go out.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be seen as their parents' generation. So you said to me, we will always have an audience.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Till they stop. And they won't even die now because of
medical
heart
stuff,
transplants and all that, hips.
Oh, yeah, we'll be fine.
All right.
Well, Lawrence, good to see you, man. Lawrence Mooney, ladies and gentlemen. Go and see his show. Where is this the last run for?
Yeah,
in Brisbane or somewhere? Doing Brisbane?
I'm in Brisbane and Sydney, Pigeonhole, and people are saying it's
great.
It's the best show I've ever done. So.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh.
Lawrence Mooney, ladies and gentlemen, on the debrief.
Bye.